the hour, give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games. That's what we do here on the drive-thru, Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's Denver Live Free Sports Picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. To deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's peek at who's on the trail with us for today. Waiting for Kirk to sign in. Jovan with us. Brad Francis, Rod Zawacky, Brian Bitler, Kevin Thomas, looking for Jay. And Dan Lane will sign in bottom of the hour. And here's how they'll line up here for this evening's show. We've got Francis, Briggs, Stuart, Burts, Bitler, Thomas, Zawacky, Lane, and then I will close this one out. All right, guys. Action today here from Major League Baseball. Game in the books already. 14 on the board. We got some WNB as well for you. So let's go ahead and let's get the show underway. Let's go ahead and welcome in. We will go ahead and welcome in to start the show. My man Brad Thomas here. Catch him over at Pick Dogs. We're bringing Brad right now. Brad, what's happening?
What's going on, Tony? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you as well as we get ready here to attack this board tonight. Astros, Twins, head-to-head. We see the Twins $1.45, total of 8.
Yeah, I'm looking at the total here, and I'm loving this over. When it comes to this pitching matchup, it looks like we have Sean Dubin on the mound for the Astros. And in his last 5 outings, we've seen him only pitch over 2 full innings once. So expect the bullpens to get pretty activated pretty early for the Astros in this one. And then when it comes to this Astros pitching staff, they're going to be facing this Twins team that has really impressed me this season. They rank 6th in OPS, 6th in homers, 6th in total runs, 9th in batting average. So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Twins could get 8 here themselves. And on the other hand, we got Pablo Lopez on the mound for the Twins, and he's had a couple of really nice outings his last couple outings, but it's been a tough season for him to say the least compared to some of his other seasons in the MLB. And he's facing this Astros lineup who has looked really solid as well. They rank 1st in batting average, 5th in OPS, 8th in home runs, 11 in total runs. So with this pick, man, I just really like how these lineups have been looking, and I think both these pitchers could be susceptible to allowing some runs here. So I like the over here.
All right, we've got Brad here looking here at over the total in this one here tonight here in this spot as we've got the Astros and Twins go head-to-head here. And of course, we've seen this Astros team really start to pick up wins and start to hit the ball. They've been one of the hottest teams out there.
Exactly, yeah. I think this may be a spot for Pablo Lopez where he kind of looks like how he looked in the beginning of the season, maybe giving up 3 or 4 earned runs in his start today. So I don't know. Do you think this number is a little low? I feel like 8. I thought this would be closer to that 9 spot.
Yeah, it does. So, well, it does seem at some point we got to see what Minnesota does, right? That's the question here against this Astros team that has been showing an improvement here. But again, they've been really this Houston team has really been hitting the ball extremely well. Twins struggling here against right-handed starters, just 237. I don't really have I have confidence in the Astros doing their part. I think the sweat will be coming on the Twins side.
Gotcha. Okay. Now that makes sense since they have been struggling a little bit more against righties. But I mean, like I said, the Twins bats have been consistent all season long, so I think they'll contribute a little as well.
All right, here we go, Brad, on the Twins Astros to go over the total here of 8 tonight here at 8 Eastern Time. All right, Brad, let's take a look over at Pick Dog for tonight's action. Of course, on the board tonight, we got baseball, lots of baseball tonight. It's a big card for Major League Baseball. Also on the board, we have action here from the WNBA. You can see Brad enjoying a really, really good 2024. What do you have going on over at Pick Dodge Premium?
Yeah, got a 3-pack on the side right now, so go check that out. But honestly, it's a great time to hop on a 3-day pass. It's Friday today. You'll get Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's going to be a big weekend, and I'm ready to cash in.
That's right, guys. Cash in here with Brad Francis over at Pick Dogs Premium. See the great results that Brad has been producing, so a better time now than get on board with Brad with maybe one of his long-term passes, 3-7 or 3-day pass. You guys love that 3-day pass here on the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, with this big MLB card, WNB in there. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout, and you'll save that 15% off. All right, Brad, as always, great having your show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again next week, but we can always find you on the channel here at Pick Dogs as you produce your video series.
Yes, sir. Yep, doing the Yerfy Nerfy videos every single day, as well as the parlay videos. We're starting to get hot again with the Yerfies and Nerfies, so be sure to check that out.
Check it out, guys. Get on board here with Brad, and make sure you like, subscribe, set those notifications, so when Brad's live, you get those picks from him as they drop them. All right, Brad, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Awesome. Thanks, Tony. Have a good one.
You as well. Brad Francis here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on our show. We're expecting Kirk Stuart supposed to be signing in here. Let me see what's going on here. Usually if there's an issue with signing in, they let me know, but waiting for Kirk. waiting actually on Kirk and let's see, waiting on Kirk and Jay to sign in here. So Jay and Kirk to sign in. We are on now. We are live now. Get your behinds in here. All right. Let's continue here on the show. All right, so we're going to have to do some audibles here. We're going to go out of turn. Let's see who we got next up here. Looking at the screen. Both are not available, so let's continue on. We're going to go to Jovan next. We'll go Mets-Pirates game tonight. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Let's bring in Jovan here in just a second. Jovan, what's happening?
Hey, what's going on, Tony? How are you?
I'm doing great. All right, we're going to Major League Baseball here for tonight as we look at the Mets and Pirates.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm on the under first 5 innings. First 5 innings under in this one. Now, depending on where you get it at, you either get it at 4 or you get it at 4.5 for the first 5. You know, that's where you got the DraftKings, you know, because they don't, as far as like the first 5 or totals, they don't do the straight number. They, you know, add the juice of 4.5. So you're gonna have to, if you're dealing with DraftKings, you're gonna have to get it at minus 145. That's the last one I saw. But you know, for the breakdown of this one, you know, it's Paul Skeens Day, so you already know this all about with him. He's gonna throw his heat, you know, running at 100 plus, you know, make guys look silly out there, and that includes the Mets team, who in the last 10 games they're not hitting righties, you know, as good as they were. You know, they're batting 225 versus righties in their last 10 games. You know, so I expect Paul Skeens to do what he's done, you know, since he's come up to the majors, especially in his last 4 games where he's only given up 3 earned runs in those 4 games, over 25 in the third innings. You know, on the other side, you know, Luis Severino, he's facing the Pirates team, you know, who's slumping as well versus righties. They're batting 220 in their last 10 games. And overall, you know, their bats really haven't been hot, you know, this season, you know, except for maybe in the very beginning of the season. So, you know, you got him, and I'll say this about him, even though he, you know, has given up some runs in his last couple outings, you know, versus the Pittsburgh Pirates, he's been downright dominant, you know, especially in his last 3 starts over a couple years span, you know, where he hasn't given up much. So I expect him to, you know, continue his success against his Pirates lineup. And when it's all said and done at the end of 5 innings, I want that under in my pocket. I think it's going to be an easy capture in this one, you know, so jump on it.
All right, Jovan says go ahead and in this one, take the under first 5. That's one of those 4 and 4.5 deals there. You see it some of these books. So there you go. First 5 under here from Jovan in this Mets and Pirates. As we got Severino and Skeens. Of course, Paul Skeens going in tonight. Both, you know, his ERA sitting very respectable. So was Severino for the most part here at just over 3. And of course, it's been a lot of domination here from Skeens. You're looking at 70 strikeouts in 52 innings. Again, it's only 52 innings, so they're kind of using him. He's got 9 starts. You know, it's a late start to the season, so you don't have to worry too much at this point about his wear and tear. I would think they would probably approach him to about 100 by the end of the season.
Yeah, you know, they're moving them along nice and slowly. You know, I guess, you know, it's a few things in play. You know, this is, you know, they're a subpar team. Let's just call it what it is. Yeah. But they're a young team. They got some, you know, some talent on this team, and you know, they need butts in the seats, and he's going to bring butts in the seats. You know what I mean? So, you know, I think as the years go on, you know, maybe starting next year, you're going to see him, you know, being a workhorse that he's built to be. You know, he has the stuff and he has the build as far as his physical frame to be a stud that goes 7, 8 innings. You know, maybe not consistently, but you know, from time to time. You know what I mean? So they're keeping them, you know, at a steady pace, you know, a little bit under 100 pitches per game, per start, you know, and listen, like, you know, call it what it is. You watch some of his starts and he could go longer than what he's going. You know what I mean? So it's just a situation where I think, you know, just like you said, they're just trying to ease him, and you know, into being a professional starter, a major league starting pitcher.
Yeah, so they look like trying to ease him in there. And of course, you're dealing with a Pirates team that has struggle at hitting the baseball. And of course, as we know with the Pirates, that bullpen has been a mess. And going first 5, at least with Skeens, looking at his overall numbers, you only had to worry about the bullpen in a first 5 bet in his opening start. After that, he's gone at least 5 every since then.
Right. Yeah. Hey, absolutely. It is what it is. That's what, dealing with this Pirates lineup, you're not expecting them to, punch their way out of way paper bags. So, and with the fact that Severino, he has put these guys in handcuffs, in his last several starts, I expect this one to be a relatively easy capture. Maybe 1-2, tied at 1, maybe a scoreless affair after 5.
That's right. And the great thing about an under 5, first 5 under, there's no extra innings, like in a full game.
Yeah, you don't gotta deal with a scenario where it's tied up. Now there's a man on second at the top of the 10th or bottom of the 10th, whichever team you're rolling with. It's just you get into these games where it seems like it's been a lot more games that's going to extras. And especially if you're dealing with unders, that's where the unders go to die. You know what I mean? So especially in this day and age, you're dealing with a 2-2 game. You might have an 8.5 in your pocket, thinking it's going to cash. Next thing you know, top of the 10th or top of the 11th or top of the whatever, and then a team just explodes for several runs and you're under. So I like it this way. This way.
Yeah, the stronger pitcher is facing the stronger lineup. The weaker pitcher is facing the weaker lineup. There you go. That's kind of where you like it there. That's Pirates first 5 under 4 to 4.5 tonight, 6:40 Eastern time. All right, Jovan, let's take a look over at Pick.com for tonight's action. Of course, on the board tonight, we got Major League Baseball up there. We also have a few from the W. You can see Jovan enjoyed a great past 30 days, over 1,500 units of profit, all documented over at Pick.com. What do you have going over at the site?
Yeah, I got a 5-pack going in MLB. I really like these plays that I'm dealing with tonight. Seems like a lot of things are aligning tonight. I have 6 plays also. Day, 70 days, yearly. Getting hot at the right time. The summer months. Never grind. What it is in baseball. But there's a lot of plays. And I'm a shooter. So it's going today. Going in the July All-Star break, then going to stretch until we hit football season where I usually shine. So, that's what the other handicaps for the capital motion. You can't go wrong here at Sports Shop Place Pick Balls. Let's get it.
Let's get a deal with Jovan Burts. You see the great results Jovan is putting across. No better time to get on board long term. You guys like that 3-day pass on the weekend? Full baseball cards here. WNBA coming in Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Use promo code PICK at checkout. Save that 50%. We assess everything Monday. Then you may consider that go with the a renewal. Maybe consider a longer term pass. All right, Jovan, as always, great having your show. Continue that great success. We'll catch up with you again next week on the drive-thru, but we can catch up your video series with those parlay shorts, and of course you show up here for us on the weekends as well.
Yeah, got another one going tonight. As far as the video, looks like it's going to be a strong one. Look like it's going to be a casher. That's what I think. Pregame. So head out, and per usual, Saturday morning, Sunday morning on the morning show, giving out free picks before we get on Monday.
There you go, guys. So make sure you check it out. Like, subscribe, set notifications. Keep an eye on Jovan's shorts. And, of course, during the weekends, when we're on the weekends here, giving out those plays. All right, Jovan, have a great rest of the week, and we'll catch up with you again Monday on the drive-thru.
Absolutely. Have a great night. See you on Monday.
See you on Monday. Jovan Burts here on the drive-thru. I will continue here, guys. Chat pick a day for today will be D-backs and the Padres, AL West contenders. These are 2 AL West teams that are on the rise. The Padres on the rise. The D-backs are showing a little bit of life. Should be an interesting match because these teams will be competing for a wild card spot because the Dodgers have a sizable lead in their division, even though they've been less than dominant. They've just been, quote unquote, a good 100-win team. That's what the Dodgers look like. They don't look like that dominating team that's going to win 120 plus games that you could think just pencil through the NL playoffs and into the World Series. They're just going to be amongst the good teams competing for a World Series. That's what the Dodgers look like right now. So that means these teams like Padres and Giants and D-backs have a shot there at knocking them off. Because remember, the Dodgers were eliminated two years in a row by divisional clubs. So a lot riding in this Padres Diamondbacks game. If you like the Diamondbacks, it's letter A, B for the Padres, C over, D under. It's chat pick of the day. So first one in board here is the Padres, but we also have a D back in there. So keep these picks coming in. Chat pick of the day. Oh, A, B, and a C. A, B, and a C coming in so far. All right, let's continue on. Look, we got Kirk signed in, ready to roll here with Kirk. Bring him in, catch him over at Pick Dodge Premium. Disappointment there for Kirk. Germany goes down to Spain in a close game. Oh, that header just a little wide. Questionable about a handball, but it didn't look deliberate. Bring him in, Kirk. What's happening?
Not much. How we doing?
Doing all right. All right, here we go. The W tonight. These Aces, you can't fade them anymore. They're back at full strength the way they're playing. Aces 12.5 against the sorry Sparks. Total 173.5.
Yeah, I was sadly on the wrong side of the Aces the last two games, and I was watching those games. They're just starting to come really, really good here to fruition, and they beat the Mystic, they beat the Fever both by around 15 to 20, and I think the Sparks are the worst of those three teams. I think at this 12.5, I'm going to have to go with the Aces, and yeah, I don't like the Sparks at all. I think they're free-falling, and yeah, 12.5 after they were 16.5 point favorites and 13 point favorites against the Fever and the Mystics, respectively. This is just too short of a line. I know they're on a back-to-back, but the Sparks are just not it. Give me the Aces minus 12.5.
All right, we got Kirk says go with the Aces here, laying the 12.5. Of course, Cameron Brink out. They really weren't even performing up to stuff, even with breaking the lineup. They were still, again, they're still a young team, still trying to find themselves. That was a huge injury there for the Sparks, though.
Yeah, no, I'm just confused on this line, to be honest. I mean, yesterday was 16.5, and they destroyed the Mystic. It wasn't even close. They're up by 30 at one point. So the fact that this is really 12.5, I think this is kind of a no-brainer. I didn't make this a premium because I've been on the wrong side of it for the past 2 days. But I think this has got to be the Aces minus 12.5 today.
Yeah, Aces. Actually, this is back when they've had a couple meetings here. They've split them, but that was really when the Vegas was injured. Now they got now back to a healthy team, and of course we saw LA with that long road trip. What was it? A 7-game road trip. Lost every game, come home and lose the worst team in the East, and the Mystics by 2.
Yeah, I mean, they're just in a terrible form right now. And as you said, the Aces are really getting healthy, starting to look like that Aces team that really won the last 2 championships. And this is a terrible spot for the Sparks here, so Aces all the way.
Yeah, and you gotta like how they look like. Of course, in that high-profile game, ESPN, 20,000 fans in there, they just destroyed Indiana.
Yeah, I mean, I was on Indiana. They were only up 6 going into the 4th, and then they completely obliterated them in the 4th and screwed my spread. I mean, Indiana's, I'm not going to say they're one of the best teams in the East, but they've been playing almost as good as the Sun in the last month. So they're definitely an up-and-coming team in the East right now, and I think they make the playoffs. So that was a pretty impressive 4th quarter by the Aces in that one.
Yeah, they kind of pulled away there at the end. All right, you have something else, a bonus for us for tomorrow as we move into the with the knockout stage game tomorrow in Euros.
That's right. I mean, I think every game in the Euros in this quarterfinals is going to be boring if you don't like goals. Besides this Netherlands-Turkey game, I think that's where we really see goals. Netherlands scored 3 against Romania, and the Turkeys scored 5 goals in their last 2 games. They've scored in every game all tournament except for Portugal, which was a bad outing. But I think this Turkey team is really starting to gel. Netherlands, they should easily put in 2 goals against Turkey in this one. And I think them versus Switzerland will probably be the semifinal in the other side of that bracket. I like the over 2.5 goals in that Netherlands versus Turkey game. I could see a 3-0 Netherlands win just like the last round, 2-1, 3-1. I think this is the game where we get goals. This is the most mismatched matchup in terms of teams. I mean, we had Spain, Germany. That was pretty much a chess match. Same with France, Portugal. And I'm expecting Switzerland, England to be another low-scoring game. So I think this Netherlands game is finally when we do start seeing some goals here.
All right, tonight we got Copa, another knockout series. The only CONCACAF team left is Canada. It's been brutal for this CONCACAF, as it usually is. This is no surprise. Anytime you get them in a national stage like this, other than Mexico, yeah, they may get into the next round, but they never go deep. Neither do the U.S., right? I mean, it's just the way it is. Canada is the next team that we've seen here show a little bit of life in this region. They're going to be facing Venezuela, but Venezuela in the 90-minute three-way tonight. This is 6. This will be beginning here in a few hours. Venezuela here plus 170 to win 90 minutes, minus plus 190 draw. Canada plus 200.
Yeah, I'm surprised here. Of all three CONCACAF teams that Canada made it out, and they were probably in the toughest of the three groups with a good Chile team, good Peru team. We know what Argentina can do. They barely snuck by Ecuador yesterday, but they still found a way to win it. I'm actually going to go with the draw here in this one as well. I think this one goes to PKs. Canada, I'd say they're lucky to get here. They played Chile and they got a red, or Chile got a red, Peru got a red against Canada. And I don't think they haven't really conceded many goals. They didn't concede in either of those games. I'm actually thinking a 0-0 or 1-1 draw on this one, and it goes to penalties. And if it goes to penalties, I would have to side with Venezuela in this one. I think Canada is just too young for this moment, so I would give the edge to Venezuela if it went to penalties. But I think this is a very, very even matchup.
I mean, I just don't understand the thought process of the Copa America. You really want your best teams advancing. Why the hell do you go to penalties, kicks right after the 90 minutes?
Yeah, I actually didn't look it up because I thought there was going to be some dumb reasoning that I didn't agree with. So I don't even know the reasoning behind it, but it makes absolutely zero sense. I mean, I have no idea why. And then you have extra time in the final. I don't know if it's because of the heat or I have no idea.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, because they're going to play in the heat in the World Cup out here anyway. You better get used to it. It gets hot. It gets hot out here, right? And it got hot in Brazil back when they played there in the rainforest. I forgot that one spot location where they played in a rainforest, which was brutal there. Teams were training poorly after playing, losing half their water in that game. But it just seems to me that now, like you're an underdog. Now you're going to ugly up the game even more, hoping to get to the 50-50 shootout. If in their heads they think it's 50-50 at least.
Yeah, I mean, it just changes the whole way really soccer is being played in these knockout stages. I mean, I think Turkey, if they were to play with a shootout right away, I think they would play very more defensively than now they know they probably don't have. They don't have the luxury. They have to have extra time if it's a tie. So it really changes the way that you have to play the game. Yeah, as you see, like Slovenia versus Portugal, I know Portugal won in that shootout, but Slovenia would have probably played even more defensively than they already did, knowing it was going straight to a shootout. So I don't agree with CONCACAF or whatever, Copa in this one at all.
No, it just makes zero sense to me. You're going to make the games less desirable to watch because these underdogs are just going to basically just ugly up the game and not try to be offensive, just play negative defensive style soccer. Nobody wants to see that. But again, it's not. The extra time means you're going to, you got to go for it, But again, it makes no sense to me. Maybe the time, maybe with the networks, that maybe got the prime time. They don't want these games extending because what happens is once one game finished, we're almost right into the next game today with that extra when that shootout with in game one with Spain and Germany.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't get it because Copa there's only one game tonight. Tomorrow it's 6 and 9, so it would be the same as the Euros. If it went to extra time and then penalties, you're still finishing before the start of the next game. So it's money lost, in my opinion. I think a lot of people are tuning out simply because, this game's Ecuador versus Argentina. They're going to park the bus. Let me just tune in during penalties. I mean, it makes it more fun for the average viewer once it gets to penalties, but actually watching the game is definitely less boring.
Yeah,
more boring.
More boring, definitely, no doubt about that. As we get especially deeper in these rounds, you get these name brand, these top tier teams and facing some of these underdogs, they're not in any purpose want to get into a scoring fest with them. They just play the negative style. All right, we got on record here Aces laying the 12.5 tonight against the Sparks. All right, Kirk, let's take a look over at Pick Dog for tonight's action. Of course, we do have action on the board tonight here from Major League Baseball, 14 games. We got action from the W. Copa America with a single game today. What do you have going over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yep, so I actually had the early game under in the MLB, then I had a Euro play, so I'm 2-0 on the day. Got one more play up for tonight, 5-2 in my last 7 plays, so really starting to heat up. Yeah, I'll have a 3-pack up for tomorrow, probably 1 WNBA, 1 MLB, and 1 Euro, so I got the multi-sport package up if you like that, and I'll also have them available individually. 7-day gets you through the semifinals of Euros and Copa, so I got a lot going on right now as those tournaments are coming to a close.
That's right, guys. Got to go with Kirk Stuart over at Pick Dodge Premium. Get on board with those long-term passes. That's your best value there. All right, Kirk, as always, great having you show. Have yourself a great evening. We'll catch up with you next week. We can always catch up with you here on the Pick Dogs channel with your video series. We see you in Gorham with the soccer picks, and we also see you with your totals, MLB.
Yep, so Goran and I got picks out for every single game. So if you want more than just that Netherlands pick, we'll have 4 picks for every of the 4 games, 2 Euros, 2 Copa tomorrow. Then I have my MLB over-unders. I give you 2 to 3 plays a day, which I really like. So, yeah, I got a lot going on, so make sure to turn on your notifications for when I drop those.
That's right. Turn them on, guys, and get Kirk's videos. All right, Kirk, have a great night. We'll catch up with you next week.
Sounds good. Thank you. Have a good one.
As well. Kirk Stewart here on the drive-thru. Let's continue here on the show, guys, as we're getting ready here for the next pick. Before we do that, let's keep an eye on the chat pick of the day. Of course, tonight is D-backs and Padres. Important game in the NL West, as these teams are definitely battling. Will battle for a wild card spot. Right now, we've got 2 on the D-backs, 3 on the Padres, 1 to the over. It's chat pick of the day. Keep these picks coming in, and we'll recap. We'll continue to update throughout the show. All right, over 8 total there, over 8.5. We've got 1 in there. Let's see, we're now tied up here. We've got another over in there on the game, and we've got an A. So 3-3 now, D-backs and the Padres in our chat pick of the day. All right, this Brian Bitler is up next. Let's catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Of course, Brian, ready to roll here. He also has a video series up here at Pick Dogs. We'll talk about that in just a little bit, but we'll get Brian in, who's put up tremendous numbers here on the site. Brian, what's happening?
Oh, great to be with you here on a Friday night. Looking to get. I mean, it's hot as hell here, 103 degrees, I think, with heat index. But you know what? That's not going to stop me from getting out tonight and do a little bit of square dancing. You know, start of the month always rough for me, but had a winning day yesterday. Going to look to continue that through the holiday weekend.
Yeah, let's continue that winning with Brian Bitler here as we go to the Phillies and Braves tonight on the Apple TV Plus. We got the Braves $1.34, total 7.5.
Yeah, for my Friday drive-through play, I'm going to look at the Philadelphia Phillies and those Atlanta Braves. Phillies come in here with 10 more wins than Atlanta, but you know, Atlanta's the one laying pretty significant juice here. Betting numbers seem to be around 50-50. Even with that being said, I'm still going to back the Atlanta Braves here tonight. Braves beat this team 2 out of 3 earlier this season. Now this series is really imperative for the Braves as they trail the Phillies by about 9 or so games. Phillies without Harper or Schwarber just aren't the same team. We saw that yesterday as they got beat 10-2 against the Cubs. Phillies have done okay, but the longer that those two stay out, the bottom of the lineup and the Phillies gets exposed. If you look, I think it's like 6, 7, 8, 9 hitters. They really have weak hitters there. I think Max Fried has been phenomenal this season. He usually is a pitcher that gets stronger as the year goes on. I just don't see Aaron Nola as a frontline pitcher, at least anymore. I think the Braves take some frustrations out of the Phillies tonight. I'm going to lay that minus 140. Well, now it's down to 133. I'll lay that minus 133 with the Braves.
Yeah, minus 133 there with the Braves. Says Brian, yeah, it's a little tricky now in the handicap with Philadelphia. You're obviously more confident with the Phillies at home. They've been a very good home team this year. But now on the road, no Harper, no Schwarber, and of course their catcher, Real Muto. We always forget about him. He's out of the lineup too. So there's 3 key contributors out of the lineup here. So you got backups. So 3 starters replaced by backups facing Max Fried.
Yeah, if you look, you got Merrifield, which he's hitting under 200. You got Marchand, who I like that. He's a nice little switch-in catcher, but definitely no offensive talent. You got Rojas and Pache. So really, the Phillies bottom of the lineup pretty weak, and you get an Atlanta Braves team definitely motivated here. Really a must-win series, really must sweep for Atlanta here, and it starts with Game 1.
Yeah, and if you're expecting, I mean, Castellanos has had his moments, but
he's getting hotter lately.
It's still 236, and the OBP is still pretty low here on Castellanos. So, not really. I was more a fan of his work with the Reds, but there's been steady decline here with them.
Yeah, for sure. For the amount of money he's getting, he's a home run hitter, but you can't have a bunch of guys that are hitting 200, and that's what Castellanos is headed for. Even if he heats up a little bit, he'll be lucky to get to 250 by the break.
Yeah, of course. I don't think this is what Trey Turner signed up for. I mean, this.
No, Trey Turner's earning his money. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's earning his money. But, he needs some more. They need a little more help in that lineup. So it's kind of a trick now with Philadelphia here, especially in these road spots, facing a top line pitcher, probably a Cy Young candidate there in Max Fried, as he's been putting up some pretty good numbers this year, and we're barely hitting nearly the halfway, almost at the All-Star break, Brian, almost there.
I think according to they're almost at the halfway point. I'm looking forward to the All-Star break. Not that, with WNBA and CFL, we still should have some action, but that's the time of year we can take a couple days off and get ready for football coming up on the horizon.
Yeah, they played 85 and 87 games, so we're beyond the halfway point now. We're now in the second half of the season, but I know the break people consider that the halfway point. We're beyond the halfway. We're about the halfway point last week. But for the record here, Brian is on the Braves here, laying the number against the Phillies. All right, Brian, let's take a look over at Pig Dog Print for tonight's action. Big 14-game card remaining here for Major League Baseball. We have 3 from W. There's also CFL they're sneaking in. They're playing these single games here Friday through Sunday, so there's CFL action up there for you. Seeing Brian enjoying a great 2024, over 2,400 units of profit, all sports combined. What do you have going over at Pick Dodge Premium?
Right now, coming in tonight, ranked 3rd on PickDogs.com as far as profit on the year goes. My best bet is always my titanium play, 30 and 18, 63% last 48. Long-term, 128, 90, and 1. That's a 59% hit rate last 218. Get that best bet for $25 every day over at PickDogs.com. Also have a WNBA best bet where I'm on a 22 and 14 run to start the season. That's 61%. Or get all 3 of my best bets, my square dance and 3-pack for $50. Also includes my CFL winner. So you get a CFL, WNBA, and Major League Baseball. All 3 for $50 at PickDogs.com.
That's right, guys. Get on board with Brian Bitler over at Pink Dogs Premium. You see the great results Brian has put together. Number, you can verify his record by going to his handicap range. That's where you can make his purchase there. Go to Pick History. You can check out every pick that's been made there. Of course, Pick Dogs, they often pay for the odds and scores and the grading by a third party. So you'll be able to verify all the numbers here on the side. All right, Brian, it's always great having your show. Continue that great success you put up there. We'll catch up with you on the drive-thru next week. But, of course, you've got a lot going on over at Pick Odds. We catch your videos here with your contrarian sharp plays. And, of course, we'll see you here on the weekends as well.
Make sure you check out PickDogs.com YouTube page every day for my sharp betting contrarian predictions. And I should be there on Sunday to argue sports with the guys and hang out a little bit. Definitely have some fun.
That's right. Have some fun, guys. So check out the weekend shows hosted by Jay. Of course, a lot of the folks are in there. I'll be there tomorrow. Brian's there. They'll see Saturday, Sunday. They'll see a good group in there. So make sure you check us out and like and subscribe and set notifications to be notified when we're live on the show. All right, Brian, have a great weekend. Enjoy your summer there, and we'll catch up with you again next week.
Thanks for having me, Tony, and I'll catch you on Monday. And make sure you say hi to my good friend Kevin Thomas up soon.
I will do that. All right, Brian Bitler here on the drive-thru. Let's continue here on the show, guys. Keep an eye on that chat pick of the day right now. If you like this one here, D-backs, it's A, B for the Padres, C over D for the under. It is a chat pick of the day, and I can tell you right now, we are seeing. Let's see, we've got some. Is this the day that we have our first total? We're seeing a lot of overs coming in right now. A lot of overs, 5 to the over right now. We did get another one here on the D-backs. So at my count right now, I got 4 here D-backs, 3 for the Padres, 5 to the over. I just want to verify that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 to the over. So keep these picks coming in. Chat pick of the day, 4 on the D-backs, 3 Padres, 5 to the over. We haven't had a total yet on the chat pick. This one may be it. We'll see. Let's continue on here. Kevin Thomas is up next, as Brian was mentioning. Of course, you can catch Kevin over at PickDogs also produces a video series as well here on the channel. We'll find out more about that as well. We'll bring in Kevin here in just a second, ready to get some baseball. Kevin, what's happening?
Hey, hi Tony. Everything's good here. Appreciate you having me.
Great having you on the show as always, Kevin. Tonight, week here, interesting matchup. Interleague Royals are on the road to face the Rockies. The Royals, look at this, $1.74 to total of 10.
Yeah, and I'm looking at those first 5 innings because we know the Colorado Rockies have the worst bullpen in baseball. Their ERA is well over 5. That's not good, but we can get value on the first 5. The Rockies at home have been like a sharp bettor's wet dream for the past 5 years, but not so much this year with the injuries and the bullpen problems. But they're still almost 500 at home, close, and the Royals are about the same on the road, a little slightly under, but it's pretty even there. And the Royals are 1-2 in July, and the Brewers are 2-2, or not the Brewers, the Rockies are 2-2. They just faced the Brewers in a 4-game series, and they split that series. So they have a little bit of momentum because this could be a 2-game win streak for the Colorado Rockies, and it's been a long time since that happened. But I look at who's on the mound. It's Kyle Freeland. This guy was on the 60-day IL, comes back. He's pitched 2 great games. He kind of was on a pitch count, but they're saying this game he's clear to go. So we just need 5 solid innings from Kyle. And he's one of those Rockies pitchers that pitches better in Colorado than on the road. And everyone's like, well, how is that? Well, he lived in Colorado. He was a 2011 Phillies prospect. They wanted him right out of high school. He didn't want to sign with him. He went to college. He ended up going to Colorado. And he's phenomenal in Colorado. And now that he's healthy, I mean, just in his last start, he went 6 innings, giving up 1 hit, 4 Ks, and that was against the Nationals. That was his last home start. Prior to that, his last home start was in April before he went on the IL. And he pitched a gem against the Diamondbacks, another no decision. I don't care if he gets the win or loss. I just need the Rockies to be winning after 5 innings. And I think they have the perfect setup. They also got Brenton Doyle back for this game. He's one of a few guys in the league with 10 home runs, 10-plus home runs, and 20-plus steals. Not a lot of guys can say that, but he can. And on the other side, we got Cole Reagans going for the Royals. You know, he was from the Rangers. He faced the Rockies 1 time as a Ranger, and he went two innings, giving up 1 hit and 1 strikeout. But now he has to go to Colorado as a starter and face these Rockies. The only thing I can say about the Royals is avoid Bobby Witt Jr. Don't pitch to him. Walk him. Let him walk. Let Perez beat you or one of the other guys. Because Bobby Witt Jr., he's a stud. He's got 113 hits already with 14 home runs. I mean, that's 113 hits already. That's one of that right there is Hall of Fame numbers. So avoid Bobby Witt Jr. and get us to the 6th inning, winning this game, and get us paid because that's a nice payout for the first 5 innings.
There we go. Kevin Thomas looking here at the Rockies here. First 5 here, plus 145 against this this Royals team that has had some issues hitting the baseball. They've not been as strong hitting the baseball on the road this year. It's been a huge drop-off in run production and hitting on the road, hitting just 216. I know it's Colorado. Sometimes they don't hit the ball there. That happens sometimes, but sometimes crazy things happen. But at this point, you don't want to get into the bullpen in this one. Although, you know, Casey's bullpen is not the greatest either.
No, and that's all right. But like I said, I'd rather Freeland get us to 5.5, 6 innings because I don't trust that bullpen. I forget they just used what was the starter they just used for 4 innings. I mean, their bullpen, they didn't really have no one. Beeks. I think he just pitched, and they don't tend to go back-to-back with their bullpen. They'll throw out like an old starter or something to try to eat innings, and I don't want to see that. I want to see Freeland go 6 strong and get us paid.
Yeah, they split with Milwaukee in their last series. They could have won 3 out of 4, but the bullpen coughed it up in that 9th inning. And I'm trying to remember who it was who was the lefty that went? Was it left-hand? Was it Molina that did that? Let me see. They hit a batter with the bases loaded, and that just
yes.
Right? Remember that one? That was just brutal to watch.
Well, yeah, especially if you have the Rockies for a full game, which I tend not to do unless I see a crazy line move. I mean, this line just first 5 innings was it opened at 162 and it went down to plus 150. I mean, that's huge just first 5 innings. So I mean, anytime I see a lot like a reverse line move, because I think only 22% of the public bets were on the Rockies and 4% of the money. So I love those kind of numbers. When I see that, like I said, this is a sharp bettor's dream. And I'm not always sharp, but I know when I see it to jump aboard.
Yeah, and of course, you're probably talking about Ty Block. He's somebody who you see sometimes start, sometimes open, and that's what you see here.
It's not. I know he did, but there was another guy I think that went 4 innings. I want to say maybe three games ago.
Peter
against
Lambert's
yes, and wasn't he a Padres? And he was a stud back in the day.
Yeah,
I mean, everyone. Yeah. I mean, fantasy, everyone wanted him, and yeah, then I see him come out of the blue, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? But their bullpen's pretty bad when you got to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I like 1 inning, and a closer. I'd rather starters forced to go 6.5, and then you 3 pitchers. I don't like the split stuff. It makes it hard the next time to bet, because then you don't know who they're going to start. It throws everything off.
The Rockies are so far behind. I mean, there's a chance that Zenzatella and let's see, their other Herman Marquez. They're hoping to get him back by after the All-Star break. Zenzatella probably by September. But again, how far the Rockies are back right now, it may not matter. And sometimes they just want to give these guys that have been injured a few innings just to see how they look for next season. But the Rockies, of course, those are 2 of their stalwarts in the starting rotation who have been out.
Yeah. So you think they'll be sellers at the All-Star?
Oh yeah, but again, do you want to buy anything that they got to sell? that's what I'm saying. It's all it's all low. It's all bottom shelf liquor there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing tough.
Brett, like I said, that oil, man. I would, as a Philly fan, I'm all in on getting some hitters, especially when they want to steal bases. I would be all in on that. But I think we need another outfield piece if they're not going to let Brandon Marsh pitch to bat against lefties. So we're definitely going to need another piece in the outfield. They've been putting Sosa out there. They talk about on the radio here locally that they've been having him play in the outfield, getting some practice out there. But his bat's cooled down too, so I think they need to trade at the break and get someone out there with at least 270 and about 12, 13 home runs. They need to get something like that out there.
All right, there you go, Kevin, here on the Rockies' first 5 tonight. All right, Kevin, let's take a look over at Pick.com for tonight's action. Of course, on the board tonight, we've got Major League Baseball still now 13 games on the board. We got the Mets game starting off right now. So we got WNBA as well, 3 up there. What do you have going over at Pick.com Premium?
I still got my MLB hidden gem. It would have been a money grab. All my money grab picks are plus money. As I started loading it in, the book started to adjust. I guess they caught wind that Kevin Thomas was going after plus money. So I don't like to call it a money grab if you're not going to get plus money. I call it a hidden gem because there was still some books where you could get plus money. And then I got 2 WNBA. I had 2 last night. I went 0-2 in WA. That's the first time in a long time. And you guys talked earlier about that Aces game, and they killed me. Not that I didn't think they were going to destroy the Mystics. I didn't think they were going to pull all their players in the 4th period and let the Mystics score 22 points because their defense after the half was just shutting them down. And then they let the Mystics. I had the under. It was like 174 or something, and it ended up going 177. And I thought the Aces would score 100, but I figured they'd hold the Mystics to 70. As soon as I saw that, I was like I knew it was so. You live and die with those totals like that, especially when teams go blow teams out and then they just take all the starters out, and then the other team still trying to score. Most teams just, in the real NBA, they just dribble the ball around, let the clock run out, and let's go home. But those girls killed me. So we bounced back tonight, though. 2 solid WNBA picks. Make sure to check them out. Partner me up with any of these great cappers on this show or over at Pick Dogs. We're all there. Great deals going on. The 2-for-1 capper deals. And then you got 7-day, 30-day, all the great deals going on. And like Brian was mentioning, he thinks it's halftime in baseball. He's a little off there. But like he mentioned, it's a good break to start getting in college football and NFL, getting on top of that stuff. And we're going to have a ton of props. I can't wait for the NFL. So make sure to jump on. Make sure to check out the Pick Dogs YouTube channel. Every night I give out a free video winner. And I try to tune in on these weekend shows. I got 3 more weeks of my daughter's sports, and then I'll be a free man. So make sure you're tuning in, because I'll be jumping on there soon enough. But make sure to check out the YouTube channel. Like I said, I've been doing this a long time, and I watch a lot of YouTube, and I don't know anyone that does more videos than the Pick Dogs guys.
That's right, guys. Like, subscribe, set notifications so these videos drop. You get them right away. All right, Kevin, it's always great having you show. Enjoy the weekend. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Take care, Tony. Good luck.
You as well. Kevin Thomas here on the drive through. Let's continue here on the show. Up next, we got Rod Zawacky. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Stream. We're going to bring in Rod here with coverage here from Major League Baseball. I think we set to roll here in just a second here with Rod. We'll get him here in just 1 minute. Rod Zawacky, what's happening? Oh, Rod froze on us. All right, Rod is a little frozen. Oh, he's back. There he is. He's unfroze. He hit the defrost button just in time.
Hit the defrost button just in time.
Rays and Rangers head-to-head. This one's a closely lined game here. $1.08 on the Rays, total 8.5.
Yeah, close tight game here between the Rays and the Rangers in this one. Who's going to start? Well, Michael Lorenzen's getting the start for the Rangers on the mound. And well, he's pitched good at times, and then he's pitched awful at times. And then when he has pitched good at times, he just lacks that run support. And you look over his last 3, well, he's 0-1 with a 5.62 ERA. And you look at home this season, he hasn't pitched at all. He had no wins for Lorenzen at home this season, 0-2 with a 3.64 ERA. And who's getting the start on the bump? Well, it's Shane Baz getting the start on the bump. We haven't seen Shane Baz getting the start for the Rays in a couple seasons. Back in 2022 when he was definitely an up-and-coming prospect for the Rays. Had to go through a little Tommy John surgery, and that got him to here to this point. So the Rays hoping that they can get some good things out of Shane Baz. He definitely looked good early on in his career. So he's definitely been putting the work with the pitching coach and getting things done. So I think he has a solid start here for the Rays. And he'll be on it in this one for sure. Maybe he goes 5-6 innings at best. They're gonna have to work him into getting back into that major league level. And when you look at the bats, you know what? Over the last 10, I got to give it to the Rays. They've been hitting a little better, and then getting to Lorenzen. I like the Rays to get to Lorenzen. I think a lower scoring one here early. Take the Nerfy. No runs first inning is a little bonus, but I think the Rays get the job done, especially at this plus price. I'll take the Rays in this one.
All right, Rob. Here on the Rays in this one on Friday night. Rays here, $9, $8. Do your line shopping, get the best numbers. Yeah, you know, the way the Rays have been playing, well, when 10 of their past 13, they're hitting the baseball. And, you know, the Rangers just don't have a good record of winning behind Lorenzen.
No, like I said, behind Lorenzen, it's just been trouble. They don't score enough for the poor guy. He seems like one of those pitchers that he pitches his heart out and gives it his all, and then Texas just doesn't give him enough run support. You see many games that he loses that he's had a solid game, but Texas behind him just doesn't get the run support. So struggles there. Also, Texas is a favorite. Now I want to be putting my money 0-4 of the last 4 as a favorite. I like the plus money for Texas at some times, but I don't want to be here with Texas at all.
Yeah, the advanced numbers.
I like the Rays coming in.
Yeah, FIP over 5, which is a suggested ERA. Some trouble there with Lorenzen is a strikeout rate, 1.32 per home run, and of course a double-digit walk rate, under 20% strikeout rate there. So there are some issues there with Lorenzen as well. May have been able to get out some innings, maybe with some double play balls, maybe some hard hit balls at folks. But they think this ERA may be on the way up with some of these numbers with Lorenzen. So Ron here on the Rays, minus 109, action for tonight. All right, we're hitting the witching hour. What do you have going over at Pick Dog Premium? Ron, we got baseball and WNBA on the board.
And over at the Pick Dogs Premium tonight, I got my 10-star play of the day. That's my top play tonight in MLB action, 18-12 over the last 30 days on it. Also have that included in my MLB triple, which gets you 3 MLB plays going. Or it's Friday, so you know it's Steak Friday going. You'll get that MLB triple, my 10-star play of the day. Plus, you get a couple WNBA plays in there as well. So join me, WNBA. We've 4-2 in our last 6 on hit. And MLB, we've been hot over the last week, up units on hit as well. So join me as we start to heat up. We started July good, and we're continuing to keep rolling in July, winning yesterday. We're going to keep it rolling right into the weekend. As many before me said, use that 2-for-1 capper promotional. Can't go wrong with that. Having 2 cappers put money in your pockets. Don't forget to use that promo code PICK at checkout on all your purchases. Join me this weekend. Let's have a big, massive weekend and stacking the cash and winning and kicking the book spot.
Stack the cash there with Rod Zawacky. All right, you got any bonus here tonight? The remainder 2 WNBA, Dream Wing, Sky Storm, and the CFL.
Yeah, a couple going tonight. You look at that CFL game going tonight, and you know what? Montreal has been off to the hot start. Actually, that one's tomorrow. I'm looking at the wrong day. It's Friday, so I'm looking at give me Ottawa plus the 3.5. I can't believe that line has moved all the way up to 3.5. I don't want to lay any more than a field goal with Winnipeg. We've seen what Winnipeg's done all season long, 0-4. Strevler's going to get the start for Winnipeg in this one tonight, and his arm hasn't looked good. He's tried to throw a couple deep balls that ended up looking like wounded, wobbly ducks. He tried to throw one late that got picked off and late in that game. Last time Winnipeg, they lost that game, and that's because of a wounded duck. Strevler, he does have a grit and heart, but when it comes to throwing a deep ball, not so good. And this Ottawa team definitely is getting disrespected here. Give me Ottawa plus the 3.5 in that one. Quick little run tomorrow. Like Calgary plus the 9.5. Everybody's disrespected Calgary. And you look head-to-head, ATS at this 9.5. Calgary would be 9-1 ATS the last 10 head-to-head versus Montreal if this line was 9.5 in all those games. There's been close tight games. Take Calgary plus the points in that one. And then the other WNBA tonight, you know what? I'm still going to say what he says behind you. I'm sorry. It's just the Aces. The Aces are on game 2. They're on a back-to-back tonight. So as much as I hate taking it with the Sparks are the rested team in the spot. The Sparks are at home in this one. Doesn't mean they're going to win it outright, but I think it's a 10-point win for the Aces. They don't need to blow out the Sparks here by 20 and prove anything. It's not even a revenge game. It might be a little revenge game because I think the Sparks kept it close earlier, but Sparks always keep it close with the Aces. You just look at it, 6-point win, 7-point win, 9-point win, double-digit blowout wins. I think 1 in the last 6. Nah, give me the Sparks plus the points. I just can't do it with the Aces. I know, and everybody's seen the Aces, how they played the last couple of games, and it's been amazing. This is one of those spots that the Aces get the win, but they just don't get that big, giant 13-point cup.
There you go from Rod Zawacky. Bonus there from Rod. All right, Rod, have yourself a great night, and we'll catch up with you again here next week on the drive-thru and, of course, on the weekend as well.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be in there on Sunday this weekend, so definitely tune in on Sunday. We'll get her done on the morning show, and we'll see you on Monday for the drive-thru, Tony. Also, take Vladdy Guerrero in Seattle tonight. Hits a home run.
There you go.
Hit a home run of the day. We hit it the last time I seen you on Wednesday with what's his name, with Teoscar Hernandez. Remember?
Yes.
We were like, someone was going to get a home run. Teoscar got it done for us. Nice plus 460 on that.
It overcame it.
Vladdy's going to crush one today for us.
Dodgers, Diamondbacks.
Great weekend, everybody.
You as well. Rod Zawacky here on the drive-thru. Yeah, that Dodger overcame in that night. Dodgers and D-backs. All right, let's continue. Huge one. Huge big there for Rod Zawacky. All right, let's continue here on the drive-thru. Dana Lane is up next. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring Dana in, ready to roll here with the baseball. Let's see if we're ready to roll here in just a second. Dana, what's happening?
I happen to agree with the assessment about the Aces. I think it's a situation of too many points. And I know, hey, look, since Chelsea Gray's come back to the lineup, I mean, they're right back to where they were. I mean, there was early in the season. I mean, we talk about those 2 games against Los Angeles early in the season that were close. This is not the same team now that it was early in the season. So the team that started that is healthy, completely healthy now, in fact. But I just think that I agree with Rod in this situation tonight. I just think that there's way too many points, especially back to back, and feel really good about themselves at this point. But they have bigger fish to fry.
Another one there for the dog. We're hitting the wishing hour, Dennis. Before we get to your pick, let's keep an eye on Pick Dogs Premium. We're getting ready for football here. Dana, no one better than Dana here last season in combined leagues here. NFL, NCAA, nearly 4,000 units of profit, getting closer to the football season. But what do you have going over at Pick Dodge Green for tonight?
We have the WNBA up. There's 3 WNBA games up. Of course, you can get that in a 3-pack for $49.99. That comes with our Pick Dogs win guarantee. And, of course, 3 Major League Baseball games are also up there as well. So you can get them individually. You get them in the 3-pack. And that's pretty much what we'll have all the way through the beginning of the first week of August. Needless to say, I can't wait for football, and have already dove in a little bit. So very excited about the upcoming season.
That's right. Everybody getting their magazines ready to roll here. Here we go to baseball, late West Coast here. O's at the Athletics here head-to-head. We see the Orioles $1.64, total 8.5.
Yeah, it's a real interesting game tonight. It's really an interesting series, and sometimes you don't know what to think of the Oakland A's. I mean, we know what they are record-wise, but we don't. Sometimes they get up and they bite the Los Angeles Angels. I know they've bitten the Pittsburgh Pirates at a time when the Pirates really needed to go to Oakland and play well. And, on paper, I mean, there is no comparison between these two teams. But a decent pitching matchup tonight. Albert Suarez is 4-2. He's got an ERA of 2.43. Hogan Harris, 1-2, a guy that we saw here in Vegas early on. 1-2, 3.18 ERA. I sure wish I got in this early on. This number started at 8, and it crept up to 8.5, and now it's closer to 9 than it'll ever be to 8. But a lot of people jumped on that over 8 early on, and Suarez was really good against the Texas Rangers. It was a good bounce back effort for him. And I think if I'm in that Baltimore rotation, Tony, I'm going to make sure that I have some good efforts, because they are, believe me, at the deadline, going to go out and get an arm. I don't know if Cal Quantrill is a guy that's been named as possibly somebody that could go to Baltimore, but right now I think if you look at their rotation, I don't think they're completely happy but where they are, and that effort against the Houston Astros before that was absolutely horrendous. So even though Suarez's numbers as far as ERA is concerned is good, I don't think that they're completely comfortable, which makes me uncomfortable in a situation where they're on the West Coast. I don't like that East Coast to West Coast travel against a team that they know that they should mop up. I think the best thing really that ever happened, that's going to happen to the Orioles, is seeing the Angels get swept by the A's. So that at least perks them up a little bit for a series that they should dominate. And, of course, Harris is going to make his 7th start of the season. We saw him in Vegas early on. Not great numbers at all in Vegas. In fact, his walk rate was through the roof, and ERA over 7.5. But Tony, you know that there's a big difference, even when we're talking about the A's. There's a big difference between the Pacific Coast League and in Major League Baseball, and certainly his numbers in walk rate is a lot better in an Oakland Athletics uniform than it was at the AAA level here in Vegas. So I do like it's difficult for me to go under that total just because of the Orioles bats, just because they've been kind of spinning a little bit. The Yankees are right on their heels. I don't think they're going to be caught napping. I know there's been a lot of professional money that have come in on the A's, especially early on, plus $1.60. I saw a couple wagers, but I just can't get on board with that side. And I think the Orioles bats are going to be awake. And 8 was a generous number. I'm telling you, I looked at 8 because I thought it was going to be 8.5, 9, and I was very surprised that it opened at 8 in some spots. But that was quickly bet up, and maybe the books made a mistake.
Yeah, it's 8.5 everywhere now. Pretty
Yeah,
much 8.5. So that would be the line degree. Over 8.5 here. Yeah, that's the thing with the Orioles bats coming up here. They've been good against left-handers, put up runs against them. No doubt about that, and that's really what you're going to get. I think it's definitely the Orioles bats coming live in this spot.
Yeah, I mean, neither one. The other thing that worries me, and I kind of take this with a grain of salt. Neither of these pitchers get a lot of run support, and I hear that thrown around a lot, and it's kind of a cute thing to say. But look, I don't know. Maybe if Paul Skeens is on the mound, maybe somebody of that echelon, maybe the bats are kind of leaning on him a little bit. But I don't think the offense goes to the plate and thinks, Harris is on the mound. don't think we're going to hit well tonight, or in this, Suarez is on the mound. I don't think we shouldn't be any more focused than we are. But the numbers are what they are. It does show that neither of these pitchers do get a lot of run support. But I think the thing that pushes me over is it's likely we're probably going to get 4 to 5 innings out of Harris tonight, and then they're going to give it over to an Oakland bullpen who, by the way, was great against the Angels. But again, it's the old adage of don't get so excited about what you just saw. We carry that in football. We carry it in baseball. More in football because it's single games, but in baseball we carry it from series to series. Terrific pitching against the Angels, but not a lot of teams haven't pitched well against the Angels, and I just not taking what I just saw this weekend or this week and applying it to what I'm going to see this weekend. They don't have a good bullpen. They're not going in the right direction as far as numerically. I mean, overall, they're 23rd in baseball in bullpen ERA, and over the last 30 days, they're also 23rd in Major League Baseball in bullpen ERA, and the numbers even a little bit worse. So nothing about that makes me think, hey, look, even if Harris or Suarez, gives up a couple each, I think these Pens are going to push it over for us in the end.
All right, there you go, Dana on Baltimore, Oakland over total of 8 runs. We've got Dana's we know what he's got going over at the sign. Of course, Dana, everybody know about your video series against the public betting.
Yeah, every day, wait for the opening numbers to come out and try to get the best of the number, put it up on the video, and get it out there as quickly as possible. We were 3-0 the other 2 days ago. We've had a lot of undefeated days, so make sure that you get to that video on a daily basis. Hit the like and subscribe button. And the good thing about what I do, whether it's wins or losses on the free plays, at the end I give really what I feel like is in-depth handicapping information. We give a handicapping tool out every single day to go a little bit deeper than what you might be thinking of. And I do the work for people so they don't have to, and seems to get a lot of good feedback. So I enjoy doing that on a daily basis.
That's right, guys. Like, subscribe, set notifications so when Dana drops those videos, you get them right away. All right, Dan, enjoy the rest of the week, and we'll catch up with you again next week.
You too, Tony. Go Aces.
There you go. Go Aces. Dana Lane here on the Drive Thru. All right, let's continue here on the show, guys. As we will keep an eye on that chat pick of the day. We're going to close out in just a second here. It's 4-4 here, tied on the Padres and D-backs. We do have actually 5 on the over, so this may be the time when we have our first total on the chat pick of the day. Still time to get it in. We're going to close it in just a little bit. All right, let's get to the recap, and then we'll let you go for the weekend here on the Drive Thru for tonight. Let's get the weekend. We'll get to the pick here for our recaps. Here we go. Brad was on Twins, Astros over 8. We're still looking for Jay. Kirk on the Aces laying 12.5. Jovan, Mets, Pirates, first 5 under 4 to 4.5. Brian on the Braves laying the $1.36. Kevin on the Rockies plus 145 first 5. Ron on the Rays minus 109. Dana, Baltimore, Oakland over at 8. Yours truly here under 7.5 here with Blue Jays and Mariners. Let's keep an eye where that one's at right now. Is there some 7.5s? No, so grade me on the 7. The 7.5s are now gone. There's only one book with 7.5, so grade me on the 7 there. And that one I like the most will be with Rod on the race side. All right, guys. Speaking of the race side, as you guys know, that's going to be my pick for tonight. Here was the Rays and Mariners. We'll be looking here at the under total, under 7. Gausman here against Castillo. But Seattle, again, they can't hit at home, right? 208 at home. But their pitching staff is holding opponents is just hitting 200 in their home ballpark. Toronto, not a very good hitting team on the road. Mariners bullpen ERA of 2.70. Seattle 29-14 to the under at home and 21-8 to the under. Facing teams with a 460 or lower win percentage will go under there in that one. All right, guys, we got through that chat. We got you through there. Chat pick of the day. We're going to close it up right now. We're going to have our first total. We're going to have our first total here on the chat pick of the day. It looks like, because we're going to close it up here in just a second. We have our first total in chat. We're closing it now. First total, we got it over 8.5 here with the D-backs and the Padres. So our first total on chat pick of the day comes in tonight in this one. All right, now you guys can go ahead and put in your show picks into the chat, and we'll read them off. That's going to do it here for this edition of the Drive. We'll be back again on Monday live at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We'll do it all over again. Bring in our coverage from Pig Dogs and Sports Chat Place. We'll get our place for you in real time. It always gets started with that morning show live, 10 a.m. Eastern time. It'll be on the weekends with Jay hosting. And, of course, remember here on the drive-through, we also have like a lot of the drive-through cappers showing up on the weekend. All the video series up here. Mitch's 7 Picks in 5 minutes. Betting Tool Show, roundtable discussion with professionals. Of course, we just talked to Dana Lang with his Against the Public Betting. We got Kevin with his video series as well. Brian Bitler with his Sharp Training Plays. Jovan coming in with his video shorts, his parlays. Kirk coming in with his MLB totals and soccer as well. Brad as well with his Nerfies on the shorts. Okay, let's keep an eye here on the live chat on the show picks. Ramon liking the Aces with Kirk. Blake on the Reds run line, lay the run and a half. We got Astros money line with Bo Dunn. David Cleaner here on the Giants money line with the big plus price. Ray's taking it, says Paul Lanpulo. David Cleaner likes, that's not his asking a question there. Rod Zawacky, Canada loses 1-0 tonight to Venezuela. That's from Rod Zawacky. All right, I think we got everyone's pick. Last call for your show picks. That'll do it. All right, let's go ahead and bring in our crew from tonight. We will wave goodbye to guys. You guys